Oh, oh. Hi babies, it's your girl Lex and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally doing an Impress a Hot Mess video. I don't think I've done one. I want to say it's probably been like a year. But today I'm doing Impress a Hot Mess on the relatively new L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundations. I picked the shades 211 Creme Calf and 212 Cocoa. The Pro Matte Foundation did so well that they decided to bring out a dewy or luminous version, and that will be these two bad boys right here. The reason I got two shades is because no tea, no shade, but they didn't really have that many options for brown skin girls. It was either go the darkest or go this. And this is clearly way too light for me, and this is a little bit too dark and too orange for me. So I figured if I mix the two, I can kind of get my right shade going on. Same thing happened in the last one. I was a soft sable in the Pro Matte Foundation. I ended up taking it back because at the time my skin was really dry and it was just a little too matte for me. But I needed to mix the soft sable with the cocoa. I did do a tutorial with me just using the soft sable. I'll put it up here somewhere, but it didn't look horrible. It didn't look horrible and it looked really good on pictures, but in person I just wasn't feeling it. So I've already done my brows and my eyes, and I'm going to prep my skin the way I normally would for any other luminous foundation. So I'm first going to spritz my face with a oil controlling spray. I'm going to use a more moisturizing primer on my face, and then I'm going to go in my T-zone with my MAC Skin Refine Zone primer. I love the Skin Refine Zone because it really does help with my oil. For some reason, I've been really oily opposed to dry. I don't know what is going on. My body's going through so many changes, but this has really helped a lot. I also have a few friends that overstayed their welcome, so I'm just going to correct those really quickly with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. Now I'm looking for full coverage, so I already know I'm going to use a brush to apply it. And the brush I'm using is this round buffer brush from Crown Brushes. So I have about this much of cocoa, and I'm going to add a few drops of the Creme Calf just so that it's not as red. I guess it's right. I was expecting this foundation to be a little bit more thick. It's really runny. I don't know how I feel about that. For some reason I thought it would have more like a gel consistency like the MAC Studio Scope foundation, but something different. We're looking very orange. We'll see how it oxidizes, but I'm gonna give it Oompa Loompa tease. So it definitely gave me full coverage, but it is very orange. I'm going to let it sit in my skin for a few minutes to see how it's gonna oxidize, and then I'll just correct it with my concealer and my powder. But overall, the coverage is really nice. I have a nice dewy finish. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my face the way I normally would. Now, this foundation claims to have 24-hour wear. It does have SPF in it, so it will oxidize on you. Which means that if you were taking flash photography, just be mindful because most foundations that do have SPF in it will give you a flashback. But it says it has a radiant finish, it wears up to 24 hours, medium coverage, and an air-like texture. So I used a brush for it only because I knew I wanted full coverage. I have some friends on my face that should not be here, so I needed to make sure that they were not seen. If you want less coverage, always go in with a beauty blender or something like that, because beauty blender will help take up some of the products so that it's not as heavy. I can say that even though it says it's a medium coverage, I got full coverage with just the one layer that I put on. It could be a good or bad thing depending on what you're looking for, but for me it was great, honey. I did bulletproof my makeup as usual. I set it with powder. I don't know if I cheated, but that's what I do with any foundation, so I didn't want it to be any different with this review. I have noticed that I do have a little bit of oil coming through, and I won't even call it oil. I'll call it a little dew. I'm getting a little dewy, which is expected because this is a luminous finish foundation. If you're someone that does not like dewy or radiant finishes, this is not for you. Because even if you do set it with powder, you'll get a nice semi-matte finish for the first hour or two, but after that, you're definitely going to start to be able to see the glow, honey. You gonna glow. Even with my skin being oily, it's not like OC or anything like that. I still have been able to enjoy the foundation in wearing it today. I would mostly recommend this for combination to dry to normal skin. If you have really oily skin, you're not going to be able to really appreciate this foundation. I did go with mattifying primer, so that will always help. If you really want to like shine bright like a diamond, you can always go in with like a more moisturizing primer or something like MAC Strobe Cream. Even though it says 24 hours, I have noticed some separating on my nose, so I can't really say that it will last you 24 hours. You would definitely get like a good 12, I would say. This foundation is definitely workable, as in you can set it with powder, you can use prolonging primers, like you can work with it. The only thing I would say is the shade range sucks. If you are a woman of color, you're almost going to have to buy more than one shade. I picked mine up at Ulta while they were having a buy one get one type of deal, so I didn't really spend too much on it. It's $12.99 at Ulta, and I got 50% off on the other one, so you know, you do the math. I am looking a little Oompa Loompa-ish. It's really not that bad on camera, but I can tell in, you know, the mirror, so I'm definitely going to have to play around with how much cocoa I add to my creme calf. But other than that, I love it. Definitely gets an impressed in my book. So if you were deciding on whether or not to get this foundation, go ahead and spend them coins, girl. It's worth it. Thank you so much for the love and for subscribing. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that button. You know you want to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will have an updated video on this hair look coming up next. But as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.